What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, as we jump back into our Attitude Era Season 2 series recap. Today, we are covering WWF SmackDown from November 25th, 1999, live in Rochester, New York. Happy Thanksgiving from everybody at the WWE. We're filming this in August, so happy early Thanksgiving for everybody watching. But we are talking about SmackDown. We are on the road to Armageddon, and to kick off SmackDown, we have DX backstage. Triple H says Vince is going to pay for Raw. It will be the worst Thanksgiving in his life. Triple H tells the guy when he gets here, get him. So we don't know exactly what he's talking about, but Triple H wants to get his hands on Vince McMahon. WWF champion The Big Show comes out. Jim Ross interviews him. Big Show says, I feel like the luckiest man on earth to have this. Title means more to me than anything else. Chris Jericho comes out. Chris Jericho says, Big Show, you don't have to worry about not having a dad anymore, because tonight I will be your daddy. You should carry my bags and beg me not to kick your cottage cheese ass. I want a no disqualification match against you. Big Show accepts and says, I will beat you like the little bitch you are. So we have WWF champion The Big Show defending against Chris Jericho. During the match, WWE Intercontinental Champion Chyna comes out with Miss Kitty. Chyna hits Chris Jericho in the face with a hammer. Big Show lands a choke slam, and The Big Show retains the title with help from Chyna. Chyna hitting Chris Jericho with a hammer after Jericho attacked Chyna's hand with a hammer. We get a Thanksgiving feast set up backstage. Vince McMahon, Test, and Shane arrive. Triple H has a note that says Vince cannot come within 50 feet of DX. Vince yells, oh, DX are so tough. So now this protection order is in place for Triple H and DX. Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young are seen in the crowd. They're dressed as a turkey and a pilgrim. Kurt Angle defeats D'Lo Brown after nailing an Olympic slam. Al Snow tells Mankind backstage that he hates The Rock and doesn't like that Mankind Brown noses him. Mankind's like, you don't have to hate The Rock. Rock's a good guy. DX talk backstage. Triple H says he has an idea and they will be more than thankful, these people. WWF European Champion The British Bulldog defends against Val Venis here. Val gets a disqualification win after the British Bulldog lands a low blow and a power slam, and Bulldog hold on to the title, although he lost the match. DX trash Rochester, New York. They mess with a bunch of homeless people and bring them into the arena for some of the Thanksgiving food. WWF Hardcore Champion The Big Boss Man defends against Kane. Big Boss Man hits Kane with the stairs and sends them into the railing. They fight in the crowd. Tori watches backstage. Viscera chases her. Tori tells Kane about Viscera. Then Prince Albert hits Kane from behind. Big Boss Man pins Kane, and Big Boss Man retains the Hardcore Championship thanks and help from Viscera and Prince Albert. We have a number one contendership match. Mankind and The Rock taking on the Hollies. Al Snow watches backstage, upset that The Rock and Mankind are teaming up. The Rock makes Michael Cole a case of a bit of Poontang Pie, which I'm sure was probably Michael's first taste of it. Rock hits Crash Holly with a people's elbow, and the Rock and Sock Connection will be taking on the New Age Outlaws at Armageddon for the tag titles. DX are backstage with the homeless individuals, and they talk about food they like. Rikishi with Too Cool taking on Joey Abs with the Main Street Posse. Rikishi gets the quick win after a sit-out pile driver. After Too Cool and Rikishi attack Main Street Posse, and they dance. D-Generation X are seen eating from the homeless people. After the homeless people ask for some forks to use to eat, DX kick them out. Next up, we have the WWF Women's Champion Ivory taking on Jacqueline in a Gravy Bowl match. Special guest referee is Miss Kitty. Jacqueline gets the quick win after nailing a DDT. After Ivory attacks Miss Kitty in the bowl, Miss Kitty chokes on a mushroom. An EMT comes and tries to help Miss Kitty, and then Ivory strips the EMT and tosses this lady into the gravy bowl. Ivory is not happy here. Next up, we have the Godfather defeating Al Snow. After Al grabs a chair, he goes to hit Godfather, but the chair ricochets back in Al Snow's head. Godfather hits a hoe train, and the Godfather gets a victory here. Next up, we have the WWF Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, defending against the Hardy Boyz with Terry in a steel cage match. X-Pac attacks Jeff Hardy. who falls out of the ring and tosses Jeff Hardy back in the ring. X-Pac then goes on to kick Matt Hardy off the cage. Mr. Ass crawls out of the cage, and the New Age Outlaws retain thanks to help from X-Pac. We've made it to our main event, Triple H and X-Pac taking on the team of Test and Shane McMahon. During the match, the New Age Outlaws come out and attack. X-Pac lands an X Factor to Test. Triple H pins Test, and X-Pac and Test and Triple H gets victory here. After DX attacks Shane McMahon, the referee, they land a Bronco Buster to Shane. Vince comes out on stage. Triple H pedigrees Shane. And then the roster comes out and they all fight with DX. There's a big food fight that takes place. And then the Fabulous Moolah puts a pie right in Jerry the King Lawler's face. But DX has the momentum here to end this episode of SmackDown with a huge food fight. We're on the road to Armageddon. Next up, we have Raw. Another couple of episodes till we get to Armageddon. And with that, make sure you check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, like, hit that notification bell. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.